there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wang Shengfu...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the gold. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this, we had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
You call this cooperation between harbingers. Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formal... Oh, it seems that...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to...
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last... So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue.
I knew that we should never have trusted a...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little... Nothing personal. We just have... The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, Stop
wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now...
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou...
How sanctimonious.
What? So, no, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the gnosis to the
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky!
Gathering all the forces that have been bubbling behind the scenes.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time, until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers. I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that meant was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child. Indeed I was. The gnosis which I had kept for so many years suddenly seemed to have... That's right. Which is why I continued to...
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and you...
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of...
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commend... Credit is also due to Senora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This, despite the eavesdropping. This meant I could remain as Zhongli. All of these things turned out as I had planned. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it would...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortal...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you... Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue...
Well then, with the gnosis in my...
Fine.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade.
Realistically speaking...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance this, uncover that answer for yourself in your...
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to... Recognize it. It would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this, so Rex Lapis is... Oh, come on. There's only one real possibility in my Fatui. Shh, lower your voice.
You know that god from the ocean?
Yes. And say, do you think the person who assassinated...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. Still, what sort of supernatural...
forget it. Hear ye all! The chief, though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Diamond needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement. So that's how there's something feels off. Why would they suddenly give... Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been... Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying...
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the...
3,700 years of contracts burnt and...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our Archon.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn. Will you stand with us as we reestablish our contracts?
So concludes the words of Does Her Eminence the Yuhung?
Huh? Is she looking?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient gods?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Perhaps, but
And that it seems as well.
As for the mortal,
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions. Here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have brought? Right, if the two of you can spare the time.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending, but since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite.
Well, we were only spending for Tui money. You don't have to say it. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. Traveling the street, that is true. But
Paimon thinks that we should...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. But the Electro-Archon Ball, and just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often but if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, this is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have...
Uh-huh. That's how people in Tibet see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began...
Vision hunt decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole...
Whoa, that's all...
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable... The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience.